dị n'ọkwụma onye mee nke ọma ebulie ya elu si ya jide nke o ji na-aga n'iru biko ka anyị gbakọ kịta wee kene n'Eze-Ana Eze-Ana ị ga-adị Eze-Ana ugochitubelu nwoke ọma na oraifite ị ga-adị ọdịnala bụ eziokwu ọdịnala bụ ụzọ ndụ ịma na o nwere olu na-eti mkpu na-asị ụmụ Igbo chigharịa ụmụ Igbo chigharịa kwa mbọsị ọ na-eti n'ụtụtụ n'abalị ọ nọ na nkụzi Eze-Ana ugochitubelu onye ọma na oraifite onye mgbasa ozi ọma ọdịnala gaba n'ihu Eze-Ana ugochitubelu onye ọma gije eme ọnụ ọdịnala bụ ụzọ ndụ gaba n'ihu Eze-Ana ugochitubelu onye ọma na oraifite onye mgbasa ozi ọma ọdịnala gaba n'ihu Eze-Ana ugochitubelu onye ọma gije eme ọnụ ọdịnala bụ ụzọ ndụ gaba n'ihu Eze-Ana ga-adị ugochitubelu ga-adị ugochitubelu tempụl ọ ya adị maka na eziokwu anwa chacha ndị okenye ga-anyị fọntambaki ndị ochie anyị fọntambaki fọdesi kala aka ghọrọ ụmụ Igbo si anyị rapụ nke anyị na nke fe ka mma buru Baịbụl bịa akwụkwọ akụkọ wepekwa chọọchị fa okwu n'ụka agakwa
ọtụtụ ọma na ụmụ ọdịnala Igbo anyị abịakwanụ n'oge awa nke eziokwu oge anyị ji wee na-awa eziokwu niile agba nke ọ bụ mụ nwa bụ Ogbuefi Eze-Ana ugochitubelu na oraifite na-anọ n'isi ya maka ndị ọ bụ taa bụ izizi ha na-afụ m na awa social media platforms maọbụ na eziokwu TV kpọọ m Ogbuefi Eze-Ana ugochitubelu na oraifite abụ m onye isi nchụaja na ugochitubelu ọdịnala temple anyị na-agba afa miri emi lụkwazi ọrụ mmụọ dị iche iche abụkwazi m onye isi nchụaja na ọdịnala restoration evangelical mission bụrụkwazi onye mgbasa ozi ọdịnala Igbo so you can call me an ọdịnala evangelist. I will answer. My mission is to help people live better life. N'ụbọchị taa n'oge awa nke isiokwu anyị ji wee bịa 4 cardinal things that brings uchu, 4 cardinal things that brings negative energy, 4 cardinal things that brings negative energy uchu. Ọnya ka anyị chọrọ ikwu maka ya taa. Mana before anyị gaba n'iru, ọkwa dị mkpa echefuna na aja anyị na-achụ kwa ọnwa nke ọnwa June ka na-aga n'iru. Ị ka nwere ike isonye na ya maka na aja anyị na-achụ ofu ọnwa. Anyị kwukwa na distance abụrụ ebara ya na aja anyị na-achụ na temple na ọlụ anyị na-alụ maọbụ n'afọ anyị na-agba na temple maka na ike Chukwu zuru mba dum. Ọ bụrụ na ị chọrọ isonye na ya bụ aja mbunye na aja ipụta ihe aja esigo na ebu n'imirikite ndị mmadụ enu mana anyị anaghị esho ihu ọlụ maọbụ testimony na social media. You know why? Ọ tụrụ necessary ọ bụrụ ihe anyị maka ebe mana I can tell you na ike dị na aja a na-achụ n'igwe maka na igwe bụ ike. Anyị malitere ịchụ aja close to 3 years now. Onwe ndị na-esonye na anyị na aja since anyị bidoro till date. In fact, as we speak, nwere ndị na-agba every January ha ebuku throughout the year ka ha dị sure na ha skip even 1 month. Ike dị na aja a na-achụ n'igwe nwanne chụba aja maka na aja karịrị ọgwụ. Ihe anyị na-eme n'isi ụtụtụ arị ejego na temple chụọ aja gọọ ọfọ kwubie okwu n'isi ndị niile sonyere anyị na aja. Ụbọchị nchịkọta ya anyị ga-eje na mmiri kwara ihe ọnụ na-eri n'aha mmadụ dum jee chụọ aja gbagotazie na temple chụọ aja to entities of powers aja ihe mme to entities of powers nọ na temple jee n'ebe nchụaja gbuo ebulu wee mee saraka. Nwanne ike dị na aja na-achụ n'igwe mana what you don't know is only a mystery to you and not to all. Yes, So if you are interested to join, what you need to do is forward their 3 prayer requests. Make token donation to the account number. Yes, we place your 3 prayer requests at the altar. Now go for the praying for you throughout the month. So WhatsApp number you use to reach me is this: 0805 7837 672. I repeat, 0805 7837 672 or 0813 8243 871. I repeat, 0813 8243 871. Like I said before, our today's topic is 4 cardinal things that brings negative energy. If you pay attention today, you will learn something that will change your life for good. Yes. Today, like I said before, you need to know what is bringing you down. Not every time you are facing those challenges of life. Most of these challenges, you brought it upon yourselves. And tomorrow you'll be blaming your endemry. You will be blaming your spiritual forces. You will be blaming your uncles. You will be blaming even the altars in your father's home. But I can tell you, all these things is 4 cardinal things you must avoid if you don't want to destroy yourself and destroy your future. Like I told you, some people have destroyed their future and their destiny. Let me tell you an example. You see this land here, it's called Akaraka. Only when you remain on that right path destined for you from creation. Even if you were there was prophesying that there is these good things on your path, you stay subject to your lifestyle now, because the present determines the future. If out of your own ignorance you refuse to do the needful, believe in me, those good things that have been prophesizing to you will remain a mirage. They can never come to pass because you refuse to do the needful. Those goodies prophesied upon your life can only manifest when you remain on the right track. I have many instances to give you. You remember Samson? Samson was a called one, destined to liberate his people, the Israelites, from the troubles of their neighbors, named the Palestinians and the rest of them. But did Samson complete the assignment given to him? Did he really save the Israelites from their enemies? The answer is no. He did not accomplish the work. You know why? He deviated from the destined path. Yes. He was warned not to marry from where he married from, because so that he will not fall a victim of bad wife. There's so many people that was once loved by God Almighty, but because of the way they lived their life, they lost it. You remember David? David was once described as apple in God's eyes, but David lost it because he began to live life that does not befit him as a choosing one. I don't know what you are passing through, but I can tell you, if you choose to live those negative life, they can destroy you. They can destroy your destiny. They can destroy those good things, those good akaraka. Yes. You can destroy it by yourself, the way you live your life. You want me to keep mentioning people? Let's use Moses as a yardstick, as a case study. Moses was loved by God. But Moses had this problem of temperament. He has issue with anger issue. David supposed to lead his people to the promised land. But Moses, because of his character that is not charitable, anger issue, he lost it. And we are told in Genesis that David was shown the promised land. But sorry, Moses was told, you will not enter there. However, you will say it, but you will not enter. I don't know what you are passing through, but I can tell you, sometimes man is the architect of his problems. And whenever it happens, you begin to blame entities of powers. You begin to blame your fellow human being. Our problem is that we are always refusing to take blames for our iniquities. I can tell you, whatever you are passing through is what you have committed knowingly and unknowingly, either in this present earth life or in your previous earth life. That is why I always urge you to always live life of restitution, so that you will keep appeasing for what you have done wrong in this present life and or in your previous earth life. So what am I saying? Always live life full of restoration. Every good thing you did in this world, believe in me, you must get reward for it. Every damn good thing. The same way, every damn bad thing you did, you must receive it. So, what am I saying? These 4 cardinal points is what you must avoid. Today, we have 2 places to read in the Bible. For those of you that believes, where is it in the Bible? Where is it in the Bible? Yes, some people normally chat me on my WhatsApp, laying some emphasis because they are Christians, but they don't understand how things work. And because of this, I'm challenging any Christian pastor. Are you a pastor or a reverend, whatever you call yourself, or even a laity, but you think you can defend your faith very well? Please chat me on WhatsApp. I'm calling for a debate on any issue concerning spirituality, concerning ordinary spirituality, concerning whatever you call it. You people normally call us idol worshippers, right? Come with any topic of your choice. Let the whole world hear me and you. So I'm throwing open challenge to whoever. You are a pastor, you are a general overseer, you are a bishop. Please accept my challenge. Let the whole world hear us. If you are changing our challenge, we make it live in Eze-Ana TV, so that the whole world will see me and you. Come and defend that's your faith. Let me prove you wrong. This challenge is open for anybody. If you can make it on a Sunday, on a Monday, or on a Thursday, your challenge is welcome. So if you are interested in any given topic to prove me wrong, like I always say, in the by the front and back. Accept my challenge on every given topic that you think that will promote your cause. I will accept. The whole thing will be live, both on social media and everything live. Yes. And the whole viewers all over the world will be the judge. If you win, I have a gift for you. If at the end of the day, and general viewers say that you win, you have a gift, great gift that I will not mention here, for yourself. Yes. So remember, if you are interested, say send message for me on WhatsApp. And if you also wish to be a regular person in our programs, you're also welcome, because we intend to start program we call Philosophy and Life. That program will be for the elites, for the knowledgeable ones, for the wise. If you have things you want to defend their faith, you're against Eze-Ana, Igbo spirituality, please come forward. We give you opportunity to air your view. Anything concerning what is happening in the world wisdom, the philosophy, and what is happening in the reality of life, you're welcome. Remember, the WhatsApp number to get me if you're interested is 0805 7837 if you are accepting this challenge, just tell me, Ogbuefi Eze-Ana, you are accepting my challenge. Not long talk. You are accepting my challenge to be on a live program, and you are coming from so place, and we have a date. So let me continue from my today's topic, which is 4 cardinal things that brings negative energy. So where we want to read in the Bible today is 1 Genesis chapter 19, 1 to 8. Okay, 1 to 9. Yes. Okay, 1 to 8. Genesis chapter 19, 1 to 8. Then the second place we read is 2 Samuel chapter 11, 1 to 14. 2 Samuel chapter 11, 1 to 14. That is the second place we are about to read. We have many places we can read to buttress our point, but we don't like it to be too long. Yes, we know that some of my audience have come across these particular chapters and verses, but you know what? They did not understand it. They did not assimilate it. They just read it just like novel. No knowledge was ever grasped for what they read. Hosea 4:6 says, my people are suffering because of lack of vision and knowledge. And I do say, that is not knowledge is so important. What is so important is how to apply that knowledge. Because we all know university graduates are supposed to be knowledgeable people. Yes. But what is important, how do you apply that knowledge you have gotten, you have acquired? So let's continue. Number 1 thing you must avoid here on earth, that whenever you commit it, believe in me, you will suffer. 1. Those abominable acts, people that committed them in the past was seriously dealt with. No exception. Yes. Forget the fact that in this world we are living, people are trying to justify all those abominable acts. Avoid soiling your hands with blood. Whatever, no justification. Human blood. Killing your fellow human being for no just reason. If you ever kill a human being, in the world we are living, we have so much insecurity here and there. People are being slaughtered every day. But believe in me, this is another calamity that will befall people of this gross material. All this split of blood, believe in me, can never go scot-free. is forbidden. Even the ancient people, our forefathers, understand this too well. That whenever you commit this dastardly act of murder is not what you can just happen by accident. Yes, you must thought of it before you carry that dastardly act, because blood is thicker than water. Act of murder is not like saying lies. Saying lies, some people that are so much addicted with lies can easily lie just for a simplest reason. So it can actually come by sudden, and once you got them in the act, the next thing is for them to deny it. That, and maybe later they will start regretting it. That one can come as accident. But what you committed to take someone's life, believe in me, is never an accident. It's intentional. That's why it's called dastardly act. Remember, when the rabbi, the mayors, the Messiah of the Jewish people, Jesus Christ, as we are told in that allegorical story called Bible, when he was hung on the cross, even the elders that committed that dastardly act, that is the same man they were once praised as their Messiah. The same man, Pilate asked them, who do you want me to set free among these two people? Your king, your Messiah, and your thief, your brother, Barnabas. And they choose, said, leave Barnabas, crucify their king, which Herod graciously accepted. And when that their Messiah was crucified, their elders shouted in their loudest voice, let the blood of this their dastardly act, this murder, be on their head and on their children's head. You can see it. Because they understand too well that whenever you commit this such dastardly act, the next thing is the consequence. Because every act has equal reaction, both negative and positive. That is laws of nature. Whatever you do, whatever you sow, so shall you reap. Galatians 6:7 says, God can never be mocked. Whatever you sow, so shall you reap. Are you following? So that is the natural laws of creation. That whatever you give out, be it negative or positive, must flow back to you, the originator. So be mindful of what you are giving out, what you are sowing in creation, but to believe in me, you must fall back to you. Never you follow the multitude to do evil. Don't say no no. Oke solo ngwere mamiri, okocha ngwere omaka oke. Don't follow the multitude to do evil. One thing is sure. Whatever you sow, so shall you reap. Do you know why people don't reap the goodies of their reward immediately? The person that committed evil now might have a lot of goodies he committed in the past. All good deeds. So because of that, he is still in the mood of receiving goodies. Those good things he have done in the past. So how nature works is that once the goodies is coming, they keep coming until you exhaust the warehouse of the goodies. Then you will now switch to the warehouse of your badness. So it's not when you are, the other person might be in the time of receiving goodies. So you might be in the time of receiving your badness. So whenever you commit your badness flows to you immediately, because in your already, the trigger of reaping badness is already on. You reap it immediately. Why the other person you are looking at, the trigger of goodies is on. So, and that one cannot be breached. So whenever I commit badness, that badness will still go back to the warehouse of badness. Whenever he exhausts the goodies, the badness comes in. You can see the reason why you cannot reap good things and bad things at the same time. So never you be looking at those people succeeding now. They are evildoers, and you know it. But they are succeeding now. They are not getting repercussion now. Don't think that they are celebrating. Believe in me, they must reap what they sow. That is laws of nature. But their own is not coming instantly because of the reason I gave you. But whether it must come, it must come either in this life or in the next life. That is pure ED. So don't say others are murdering people, killing fellow human beings for no just reason. No matter what, whatever, you don't have a right to take life. You know why? You cannot create life. You are not permitted in creation to destroy what you cannot create. Yes. So know it today that whenever you commit murder, that's not the act. Believe in me, you must reap it. Either in this world or in this world. Even the consequence, the equal consequence will keep coming as a sign, as a warning. That time you might be looking for any spiritual help. Your helper, your spiritualist, your dibia can only intercede on your behalf. But whether you will reap it, that is one of the reasons why you keep on performing sacrifices. You keep on passing some, having some experiences like nemesis. You keep experiencing some badness. Those things is like what you are using to pay up your karma. Until when you pay them off, other good things you are doing now will be still be keeping in your store, spiritual store of goodies. Now, those goodies, you might use them to pay up your debt because of your badness. So keep doing good. Even if you are doing good now, you are not seeing the result. I can tell you, the goodies you are doing now can be used to eliminate your debt. So what I'm telling you is that if you have commit badness in the previous life, those things you have been believing that he commits murder, you go inside the room, shed the crocodile tears, about water again, if you thank you, Jesus, thank you, my Lord. Now, who does that? That your crocodile tears, that your water, nobody save you anything. You must pay to the last kobo. So, whenever you do evil, the only thing that can save you is that whenever you commit evil, maybe let's give you an example. You have been sentenced spiritually for 20 good years of suffer, hard work, because of your iniquity. Now, if you are here and you understand the fact that you have sinned, and your sin have found you out, what you'll be doing now is restitution, reparation, sacrifices. Those things you are doing, keep doing good, keep doing good. I can tell you that all the sacrifices you have made is not in vain. Those sacrifices will manifest because when you are doing those goodies, the forces of nature are taking note of your goodies and sacrifices. They will be using it to pay up your debt, your debt gradually. They will use it to pay up your debt, that 20 years. That 20 years given to you, you will use it to pay them off. With that 20 years given to you, then you use it to cut it to small size. Maybe after 2 years, you pay them off. But originally, without offering these sacrifices and all this stuff, it must have lasted 20 years. But because of your sacrifices, you have paid it, and it remained only 2 years. That is one. So murder, no justification. That is one. Number two, you must avoid lesbianism. And remember, all these 4 things I want to mention is called alo in Igbo spirituality. When you commit murder, oga, I want to because they commit the murder. Then the second abominable thing you must avoid, lesbianism and homosexualism. Then I want to. Ndị na-eme supe na ndị na-akpọ ntu. Ụzọ ihe na-abụọ eji gị destroy ya ọtụtụ mba. O nwere mba anyị ga-asaitere gị a na-akpọ Sodom and Gomorrah. Sodom and Gomorrah is 2 different cities. But because of the iniquities, they were destroyed. Because Golai Galatians, Golai Genesis 19, 1-8. Listen and listen good.
Okay, Genesis 19, 1-8. The 2 angels arrived at Sodom in the evening, and Lot was sitting in the gateway of the city. When he saw them, he got up to meet them and bowed down with his face to the ground. Verse 2. My lords, he said, please turn aside to your servant's house. You can drink water and spend the night, then go on your way tomorrow morning. No, they answered, we will spend the night in the square. Verse 3. But he insisted so strongly that they did go with him and entered his house. He prepared a meal for them, baking bread without yeast, and they ate. Verse 4. Before they had gone to bed, all the men from every part of the city of Sodom, young and old, surrounded the house. Verse 5. They called to Lot, where are the men who came to your house tonight? Bring them out for us to have sex with them. Verse 6. Lot went inside to meet them and shut the door behind him. Verse 7. And said, no, my friends, don't do this wicked thing. Verse 8. Look, I have 2 daughters who have never slept with a man. Let me bring them out to you, and you can do to them as you like. But don't do anything to these men, for they have come under the protection of my roof. Verse 9. Get out of our way, they replied. This fellow came here as a foreigner, and now he wants to play the judge. We will treat you worse than them. They kept bringing pressures on Lot and moved forward to break down the door.
Okay, let's stop it here. If you read it down to 28, yes, you will see the Sodom and Gomorrah. Why God destroyed them? Because they committed abominable acts we call alo in Igbo spirituality. How can men be lusting after fellow men? And everything happened. And the owner of the house tried to protect his guest. And they said, threatening him that they would deal with him worst. He even offered, okay, what you guys are about to do is an abominable act before God. It's an abominable act for a man to sleep with fellow man. He later even offered to offer his virgin daughters. But they said no, because they are used to man sleeping with man, which is an alo. There is no way you can justify it. to show you that all these abominable acts that Igbo people don't have, they don't have a culture. They brought, this is all the things they brought to us. In ancient time, it's a barbaric act in Africa. It's not our own thing, because we Africa fear God. Those things is some of the things they brought to us. We call it civilization. The same thing with woman sleeping with woman. Hello. So if you have done this, believe in me, you go for Epualo. Because this thing will keep on bringing negative vibration towards your side. Keep on destroying you. And sometimes you'll be blaming your ancestors, you'll be blaming your uncles, you'll be blaming everybody. But believe in me, you are the one that brought this shame and negativity upon yourself. To cut the whole story short, those cities was later destroyed because they insisted that they must commit the abominable act the more. You can see it. This is, I use the book, you know. I don't want to start quoting other spiritual books like the Holy Incoming, like other spiritual books, which I cannot be able to mention them here or here. I decide to use the Bible. You know why I normally use Bible as a reference point? I understand that 80% of my audience have come across the Bible. So I would like to use what you have knowledge about, what you have come across. If I start quoting Incoming, Holy Incoming, have you deep thought in English? You may have not come across it. So I use your Bible. So there's no way anybody can justify it. There was so much pressure. Even in the Christendom today, the Catholic, the head of the Christendom, have accepted it. They call it marriage blessing. Who does that? Because the papacy want to maintain their friendship with the Ndanya because of worldly things. But it remains abominable act as long as you are outside of Africa. Avoid it like plague or leprosy. Avoid it because it will destroy you. Some of these acts, if you refuse to do the needful of cleansing, it can destroy all your spiritual work and you'll be blaming your spiritualities. So whenever you commit some of these abominable acts, you speak up. Don't expect it to come during the consultation. You know why? Because if the spirits want to destroy you, they will hage me or map to the nafa. Kewe bula lago ne hacho. Kawe taga fu ne hacho. But you jiraka ukubutia. Ogosugo na kemoni di go sorry. And he kwenye go ni ime mi also because one of the principles the neighbor alona nige kuni ihu aja na ni ime mesi also. Negative. So obugo no put on afi chinyoro nwe aka jiri aka gị confess ya. In agent ka bo so lesbianism and homosexual it's ebontu ma ndi super is not allowed. If you have done it, go for your wall in agent. Now ka agwola another place but the fourth one. Ka bo 2 Samuel chapter 11 1 to 14. Get it.
2 Samuel 11, 1 to 14. The following spring, at the time of the year when kings usually go to war, David sent Joab with his officers and the Israelite army. They defeated the Ammonites and surrounded the city of Rahab. But David himself stayed in Jerusalem. Verse 2. One day, late in the afternoon, David got up from his nap and went to palace roof. As he walked around up there, he saw a woman taking a bath in her house. She was very beautiful. Verse 3. So he sent a messenger to find out who she was and learned that she was Bathsheba, the wife of Uriah the Hittite. Verse 4. David sent messenger to get her. They brought her to him, and he made love to her. She had just finished her monthly ritual of purification. Then she went back home. Verse 5. After she discovered that she was pregnant, she sent message to David to tell him. Verse 6. David then sent a message to Joab. Send me Uriah the Hittite. So Joab sent him to David. Verse 7. When Uriah arrived, David asked him if Joab and the troop were well and how the fight was going. Verse 8. Then he said to Uriah, go home and rest a while. Uriah left, and David had a present sent to his home. But Uriah did not go home. Instead, he slept at the palace gate with the king's guard. Verse 10. When David heard that Uriah had not gone home, he asked him, you have just returned after a long absence. Why didn't you go home? Verse 11. Uriah answered, the men of Israel and Judah are aware in the battle, and the covenant ark is with them. My commander Joab and his officers are camped out in the open. How could I go home, eat, drink, and sleep with my wife? But all this scared, I swear that I could never do such a thing. Verse 12. So David said, then stay here and rest, even if it's one day. Then the next day I will send you back. So Uriah stayed in Jerusalem that day. The next day, verse 13, David invited him to supper and got him. David invited him to supper and got him drunk. But again, that night Uriah did not go home. Instead, he slept on his blanket in the palace guard room. Verse 14. The next morning, David wrote a letter to Joab and sent it to Uriah. He wrote, put Uriah in front line where battle is strong and tough. Then retreat and let him be killed. 16. So while Joab was besieged the city, he sent Uriah to a place where he knew the enemies were strong, and he was killed.
Thank you. You have had it from the horse's mouth. Yes, at least from your Bible's mouth. Now, what I want to tell you is this. See what happened. The story, it goes this way. King David, on a particular afternoon, was going around his kingdom, on his palace, on top of the palace, called Onyendu. Yes, on rooftop. As he went there, he sighted in the city and saw a beautiful woman having her bath. He now sent one of his sons, who go and verify who is that woman. He learned that that particular woman is a wife of one of his top soldiers. What did he do? David and went ahead and slept with that woman. That woman just finished her monthly period. And after she slept with David, he got pregnant. After, when she now noticed that she's pregnant, she sent message across to David. See, I'm pregnant too, and my husband has been on the war front for a very long time. How can we justify this act? How can we put this pregnancy upon him? And you know the consequence. If he comes back without touching the wife after long period of absence, who will the woman tell the whole community that is the father of the unborn child? And because of the shame, knowing fully well that the woman will be stoned to death if her husband confesses that he is not responsible for the pregnancy. I want to tell you why you were advised to desist from everything crime, abominable act. Once one crime, abominable act is committed, many other crimes, lies, will be told to cover it. Because iniquity, you get iniquity. And now, in order to cover his track, remember, it's only a woman that knows who is the father of his child, her child. Remember, see what happened. David now decided to bring back the husband of the woman back, Ure. Pretended that he loves Ure too much, so much. He now said, Ure, he has been fighting for a while. Go home and enjoy and have rest for a while. The intention, he knows fully well that Ure has been on the war front for a very long time. That if for any reason Ure visit his beautiful wife at home, that they will make love. And after making love, the intention of David is that after making love with his wife, he will be sent back to the war front. Maybe after many months of fight, he will now come back and meet his wife pregnant. And the sin, that particular sin of infertility will be covered. Because the man will be confused on the exact date, knowing fully well that, yes, I came back around some months, the same thing that is happening to you, that listening to me. You will not totally be sure the exact date. And by so doing, you will accept another person's child. That is exactly what is happening in the various home today as we speak. You that is watching me now understand what I'm saying. And I can tell you, this kind of act is one of the things that is destroying homes today. You are fooling your husband that the child, the unborn child, even the child at home is his. But me and you understand that truly your husband is not the father of that particular child. Because of lust. Do you see what lust can do? David lusted after a woman. And because of that lust lead to adultery. From that adultery, abominable act was committed. In order to cover that abominable act, murder follows it. You can see why ordinary and Igbo spirituality urge you not to be doing those irresponsible acts. Because whenever you commit evil, you will commit more evil to cover the one you have committed. And sin of sleeping with somebody's wife, the crime rate is so high. Let me tell you, do you know that some men that have died today, what actually killed them? Some men was kidnapped, some men was shot at, some men was poisoned. Do you know the reason? It's because to cover track of their wife's sin. You as a woman, you know why you were advised not to be sleeping around? Somebody that want to have you, somebody that want to be sleeping with you, in order to sleep with you, can walk in connivance with you, with your support. And if the man learns that you will not support him, he can go ahead and mastermind the killing of your husband just to have you. Do you know? Do you know that many men have gone? Do you know that some men was killed to cover some tracks? Do you know that some men was killed because they find out that their wife is cheating on them, committing an abominable act, and they threatened to send the woman packing? Do you know that that same woman can go outside and discuss it with her boyfriend, and they will plan how to eliminate you, the man? Do you know? Many men have died because some men, maybe they are wealthy, and the woman knows that the man will take her packing. He will now connive with the boyfriend to eliminate the man so that he will see inherit everything. You don't want divorce. Are you following? Many men have died. You get it? So men were shot as they are coming back from work. He thinking that is armed robbery incident. But believe in me, is the boyfriend of the wife that masterminded that particular act. to cover their sinful act of abomination. Many men have died. Do you know that many men have been poisoned? Where they normally go in the evening to go and relax and eat some few nkwobi and some bottles of beer. Do you know that some of them have been brought over so that they will eliminate them by the wife and the wife friends? Do you know? Many men have died. The same thing happening to women. There are some men that because of their loss, but it happened more on the woman's side. Yes. So what I'm telling you, that there is a lot of crime being committed to cover this act of abominable act. So that's why Igbo spirituality asks you to avoid it. Some people, do you know that there are some men that enjoys a widow? Some said they will not even allow that widow of a thing to happen naturally. No. It's the masterminded. They will mastermind their wife, their husband killing for you to become a widow. So that whenever they come to the house, they relax. Because ndị na-Igbo na-atụ si na onye na-achọ nwaanyị ajadu obi anara amapịa maka na ọma ebe die nọ. Ọ ihe na-eme. So the Igbo frown at it, you, for any reason, to go after a married woman. See the story of David. David eventually, he pressurized that man, Ure, to go and sleep with his wife. But Ure refused on two occasions. The second occasion, he drunk Ure, so that Ure will go home with Yanyanku, and so that he will sleep with the wife. Ure refused. Say, how can he do such an abominable thing? That his brothers, young men of their Judah and Jerusalem, are in the war front. Even the Ark of Covenant, is still in the war front to fight their enemy. How can he, Ure, go home and be enjoying with his wife? Why the Ark of Covenant? Why the able men and soldiers of Israel are in the war front? That is not, he can never do that. That it will be an abomination for him to go home, abandon the Ark of Covenant and their soldiers in the war front. Do you know that Ure was a good man? If the issue of making someone sense is real, that this particular act of royalty of Ure maintain that he cannot go home for pressure, why the Ark of Covenant, why the able men of Israel, the soldiers are there in the war front. Do you know about this? Because of this act of love and loyalty to things of God. Because you understand that the Ark of Covenant is still in the war front. This simple act is enough to make him sent. But who does that? Today, as we speak, me and you know that nothing like Ure is sent. But what am I saying? What I'm saying is that there is but Ure really showed characteristics of a noble man, a good man. Instead, that characteristics of a good man brought his death. Because David wanted to cover crime. David now sent their leader, their commander, so that Ure will be put on the war front and ask them to withdraw so that Ure will be killed. When Ure was killed, they have not stopped. When Ure was killed, now David now officially went and married that particular Sheba. As a widow now, pretended that he didn't know what happened to her husband. That is exactly what is happening in some women, in some homes today. Some of those evil men will come after your wife because your wife is so beautiful, they plan your mother, they will kill you and come around and to marry this woman. If you have opportunity, your eyes opened to see what is happening, you cannot makana na-eme ọtụtụ ndị mmadụ ga-amasta anyị ka na-asị na ndị dum tufu dum chọọ ndị dum tufu dum chọọ ha ga-emekwa gị o ha ga-achị na bụrụ ụmụnna anyị ndị Asaba asụka ha ga-emekwa ga-achị. They will pretend they committed the act So what am I saying? Here is the dastardly act. Avoid anything dastardly act of murder. So it's one of the capital cause of uchu. Murder. Because of that, David committed and saw his hand. Because of that, because of this act, David was asked, you will not build temple for me again. Dada, Solomon was chosen. And David, that woman later gave birth to a son for David called Absalom. And that child later died. And because of what David did, because of that, what David did, his son, illegal son, eventually slept with his children to fulfill karma. So I don't know what you are passing through, but I can tell you to avoid bringing negativities or to allow to your part. Because believe in me, come rain constant, it must flow back to you. Let me stop here. If you have questions in this today's teaching, send message to me on my WhatsApp 0805 78 37 672. I repeat 0805 78 37 672 or 0813 82 43 871 0813 82 43 843 87 82 0813 82 43 871. Ka ọ dịkwa echi niile n'oge awa nke eziokwu. Asị m na ọ bụrụ na ọnwa egburo ji eji wee chụ aja na emechaa na ọya epu ome udo dịrị ọnụ. Lụtakwa na ihe m kwuru na m na-challenge onye ọbụla for a debate. You are a pastor, you are a bishop, you are a reverend, you are a general overseer, you are invited. Just indicate that you want to be part of our program to defend your faith. Then we choose your topic. Ka ọ dịkwa echi niile n'oge awa nke eziokwu. Ọ bụrụ na ọnwa egburo ji eji wee chụ aja emechaa na ọya epu ome udo dịrị ọnụ.